Hello gentle friends and welcome back to my coverage of the Reddit Eternal Blood Bowl League. We are getting into an exciting match coming up as it's going to be myself in 4th place with a 2-1-1 record up against the Skaven team of Kubasta. The Children of Dune who are in 3rd. Now with the way the table lies at the moment, we have 2 teams up at the very tippy top who are the ones most likely to win, but this is our chance for both of us to make a move in and maybe grab hold of a playoffs place ourselves. Of course, only the very top team will get to survive, but if either of us lose here, that opportunity has passed by. Now, in this match, the Kislev team's been doing it pretty darn well because they are up at 13-10. My Kislev team, with the addition of the bear, feeling pretty strong. We've got some block, we've got some dodge, we've got some good stuff. We've got an opportunity to use some diving tackle here against the Skaven team at 1190 team value. Assuming I didn't miss my mark. Which means that they are going to be getting a fair amount of petty cash. Yes, 120k. I don't know if Kubasa's going to put in the money to make this wizardly time. Maybe? I don't know. This is an important match. But the Skaven team, they've only just managed to get up to 12 players on the roster, so I don't know if they can afford to burn. Okay, no, apparently they can afford to burn through 30k of their treasury to make sure they've got a wizard. So, alright, there we go. Kubasta reflecting just how vital this game is going to be for the Skaven team if they want to be able to compete for that top spot, which is discussed so many times before. It's also a little bit of a poison chalice, but it's still a big thing to be able to say that you won your first division, and that's exactly what Kubasa did before. They went through, won the division, and then got their Kislev team absolutely murdered. It's going to be a rainy day here on Arrakis. Ironic indeed for the desert planet, but hey, every cloud has a silver lining, every rose has its thorns, and let's see which one of our teams we washed away like tears in the rain. Haha! You say hello. I say hello, hello. Checkmate. So, with a wizard, and with some extremely slippery gutter runners, my team doesn't really have the ability to deal with those as of yet, in any meaningful way. I've mainly got skills to protect my Kislev team, so though I think I can win pretty well on the bashing game. Hey, Mizra! So I think I have the advantage just about in terms of block, and also I've got a big guy. Okay. And Kubasa's going to look to receive instead. So they have got a Mighty Blow player. They've got Duncan Idaho, a gutter runner with 2 heads, which means they're basically impossible. They can just go wherever they want. Only a 1 on the dice is ever going to stop them. A Wrestle, Gurney Halleck for going off the ball carrier, which is going to be handy because I have got block dodge players. Let's see. So there's no way I leave my bear out of the equation. You're going to be crazy. Oh yes, and Mizra. I've gotten in trouble as before, so this kind of goes without saying, but I guess I'll say it a few times just to make sure I've covered myself. Please, if any discussion of the match, please keep to after it's been relevant. I don't want to get into any more trouble. Oh, jeesh. Oh, jeesh. So, let's see. Who's going to be... So, we're going to be doing some ball passing. Where's my second... Oh, there he is. No, it's a lineman. Where is my second catcher? Oh, he's on the line of scrimmage. That's why I didn't notice. Okay. So... I think we're going to have a setup with our 2 catchers here who... So this is one of my favourite ways of starting off with a Kislev team is you've got 2 catchers so they can just throw to each other pretty reliably. So we've got our guys swinging in there for the regular hits. So it's going to be 2 dice block across the board. And then hopefully a 3 dice block there on Chani. We need to provide a little bit of protection for our ball carrier because the gutter runners are going to be almost impossible to stop going everywhere they want to. So I think the only way I can really stay safe is to get the ball onto my blodge guy, and then just do my darndest to keep them from being overrun. So if I can't stop the Gutterers from going around the outside, I guess at least I can make it so that they have to take a slightly longer path, and that doesn't seem that worthwhile in retrospect. Maybe... But yeah, Mizra, thank you for your kind wishes. And I think Cudbuster wanted to say thank you and hello to all of you fine folks, which at the moment is just you, Mizra. So welcome to your private viewing. Alright, so if we get blitzed, we end up probably with our guys covered in filthy, filthy rats. So let's... Cudbuster? The suits of the team are possessed, and they've kidnapped the people who currently are inside these suits. My team concept is a little bit weird. I will give that over. Alright, so let's see. So we're going to get 2 block hits to start with. We'll hopefully get a 3 dice block in. Afterwards, I mean, let's see. So the Skaven have got 1 spare player. So ideally, I think with as being the very slightly stronger team in this matchup, we're looking to try and damage as many Skaven players as possible. So we've got 2 Storm Vermin. We've got a block. So we're actually equal on block. But I think we should try and use our big guy to get as many people off the pitch as possible. Because the Skaven can just more or less get away from stuffing the bear pretty easily. Okay, they've got kick. Nice. Oh, nice. Okay, so Lady Jessica gonna get clobbered. Nicey, nicey. It could have been a lot worse. Alright, so... Oh yeah, we didn't figure this out. It's been a while since I played Blood Bowl now. Okay. So I should have put my block guys here to allow them to get the... I don't know actually. Okay. So that's 2 people down. Let's go for the 3 dice block. If this goes wrong, I'm not too upset. Okay. Nicey dicey. Okay. So let's get hold of that Durn ball. So despite the team being extremely mobile, I think this is probably going to be a game where that mobility is kind of I guess not necessarily not used, but more focused, I suppose. I'll do some rearranging actually, because I think this is maybe not the best setup. Okay. So over here. Okay, hopefully that will leave that piece of information, the turn timer, up and available. So let's go for a casual block over here. Let's see, this guy's... They both got 5 out of 6, so never know. So we can try and start building a advance over on this side. No can do. Alright. So we're moving pretty aggressively up. I'm hoping that we kind of get the Skaven to engage us in some kind of punching contest, because I think that seemed like it worked pretty well for us. But for now, I'm okay with that turn. It wasn't amazing by any means, but it was alright. We've got a stun, we've got a hold of the ball. So ideally, I'd like to be probably scoring with this guy. But let's see. So objective-wise in the game, ideally I'd like to actually get some SVP on these linemen. I haven't got any leveled up linemen so far, but it's got a hold of me actually. No, that's right. It's got a hold of me is the one who's the most important. Oh, and while I remember actually, let me grab the team sheets for today. Whoops. There you go. Anyone can view. Copy that link into the chat. And Mizra, you can follow along with what's going along at home. So we've still got the wizard to contend with, but I don't see that coming out immediately at least. And I think I'm going to advance my guys up because I don't really anticipate there being too much threat on the ball carrier right now. So let's see. 12, 8, 4. What do these relate to? So it's 2 squares. Is that the 4-foot line, 8-foot line, 12-foot line, 16-foot line? I was listening to some American football and I realized that I should probably be trying to incorporate more American football things into my commentary. Because that is a description of where they are on the pitch, so I think that's something. It's kind of weird there's no equivalent kind of across pitch, sort of, so you can really coordinate someone. Oh, and let me bring the music down a little bit. So it's catch, intercept, or pickup rolls on -1s. Okay. Which means that I may be feeling like the... Oh, hello, mighty blow. Phew, survived. That maybe... Was it catch, intercept, or pickups? Maybe I do need to be a little bit more careful with my throwing the ball around. Okay. So the Skaven, such as it is, have taken the bait. They have engaged a little bit. Oh yes, sorry, the TVs are the wrong way around. Thank you for pointing that out, Mizra. Alright, let's Sopperoo. There we go. Oh man, it's been a little while since I've done any Blood Bowl, so I'm a little all over the place. There we go. Nice and fixed. So yes, 3rd place versus 4th place. So ultimately, the Skaven didn't do a whole lot of anything. Let's see if we can get our bear up there. So something I've got here, which is one of sort of the non-obvious things, is that I've got the ability to put the put some pressure onto the gutter runners here, because I've got diving tackle, and also the bear has prehensile tail. So I've got 2 players with diving tackle, 2 players, sorry, 1 player with prehensile tail. So actually dodging for the Skaven team is going to be a little bit more tricky than it might have normally seen. So I'm going to take every opportunity I can. So if I run up here, hit this guy, it's going to end up next to the bear, and then he'll have diving tackle and prehensile tail to try and dodge away from. Nice, even better. But still all applies. I love the attack animations. Okay, cool. So we're just going to make sure we don't accidentally give up presence in the mid to the point of being actually caught out. But I think we're probably advancing up this side. We are okay, let's think about this. So we are kind of the stronger team here. Like, we're winning the punching battle pretty convincingly. But we've got to also remember that the Skaven can always go after and get the ball pretty easily. So let's see. This is Duncan's the one to watch because they can pretty much run through anything. So I want to be keeping the... Let's go and mark their down guys. Let's put our block... So we've kept the Mighty Blow player away from our squishier players, which is one of our priorities in this game. I think it's always good to figure out what your specific priorities are. So let's move the ball up. So we want to be close enough that we can get some assistance from our fellows, but not so close that we're going to get run at straight away. Okay, and up here. So Saps My Will should counteract any assists that come in. Yeah, I think we're feeling pretty strong in this section here. Where could they bust through? So our screen would hopefully keep our ball carrier safe. Let's see, so with movement 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's pretty unlikely. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't think they can really get on our ball carrier this time. no matter what happens. So I think I'm going to... I don't think forcing the blocks on the gutter runners is really worthwhile because it's just so likely they're going to pass them anyway. You know, I mean, admittedly, you're adding another 1 in 36 into the equation. So maybe, I mean... Actually, yeah, I'm willing to put this lineman up there just to... I guess if I do it 36 times, it will happen? I don't know, I guess it would never happen otherwise. It does at least keep Duncan from being... Either Duncan dodges away and maybe fails, which is, again, very, very unlikely, but... or they bring more people over here to help a Strength 2 player beat up a Strength 3 player who's not actually that important anyway. Either way, I feel like I'm coming out ahead. The Gutter Runner could run, let's see, so they could run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident, pretty safe right now. So the big question mark in this game is going to be the wizard. Where does that wizard come in? What is it used for? You know, traditionally, it's used for the lightning bolt to hit the ball carrier, but in this case, I don't know if that's important. Okay, there we go. So I think that move felt like that was the right one because I ended up soaking a blitz from the Skaven team. As much as they didn't necessarily have a great blitz anyway, they're in the position now where they're kind of blitzing someone who's just not that important. And also getting very lucky with some of these hits. Sheesh. Okay, oh nice, I should be able to get a 2x block onto the Storm Vermin as well. Very friendly. So we've got the prehensile tail if any of these Skaven think about trying to get away. Oh nice, and it looks like we're about to get into a scrum. Lovely. Now I don't necessarily want to use the bear at this point. Oh okay, that was the 2-die block. And... oh wait, no, that is a... yeah, that is a defender dam. Okay, a stun. I can definitely live with that. So the problem I've got here is that the bear can get boneheaded, so I don't know if I really want to use them for a fight. I can get some 2-dice blocks here, which are quite nice. I think that's sensible to try and advance the center. So I've got my block guy with 2 dice, and if I move in one of my other players, then the rest of them can get 2 dice as well. I think for now the bear is probably okay just to stay where it is, just because it... oh boy. Nice. Okay, if they follow up here, then I should be able to get a 3-dice block. Otherwise, I'm just going to move right back in, because if I'm in the position where Kabus's throwing out 2 red dice blocks on me, that's a pretty good acknowledgement that things are going quite well for me. And I've got nothing to lose here if he boneheads, because currently he's not doing anything anyway. So, let's give that a try. Excellent. Alright, so... let's go for our most straightforward tasks. Bish bosh. Okay, so got to be a little bit careful. I feel like I'm sort of opening up a space here, but maybe I don't need to be. So I think going for this kind of thing could be alright, because that helps reinforce that flank and cut off any shenanigan vectors. Okay, that's fine. This is the guy I'd like to have score if at all possible, so getting them up towards the end zone is pretty good. Alright, we've got 4 rerolls still, so feeling pretty good. Nice. More hits. All good stuff. If it wasn't raining, I would absolutely be starting to just make some passes here, but let's see. Let's keep our eyes very closely, as always, onto these gutter runners. So they're still lurking here. They can still break around the side, but the bear's presence here in the center is pretty good. Let's see. Let's have a look at what can happen next turn. So these are kind of hard to blitz because they're both together. So 2-die block on this guy doesn't really get them anywhere. Can't get a 2-die block on that guy. So this flank is pretty secure. In the center here, there's going to be a lot of rats getting up. So maybe if you knock away this guy, suddenly you've got a lot of assisted rats. So let's go in here. I can provide an assist next turn. And I think if we move our contingent of friends up here, let's see. So could get a 2-die block on that one. Still wouldn't allow through there, but could have a blitz and end up next to the ball carrier that way. So let's seal off that hole. Oh boy, I could actually legitimately start fouling the gut runners. If it was one of the ones which was actually good, I probably would. Let's see, where could stuff go wrong? You could get a punch through here. Though it's unlikely, but it's possible. So these will get moved into contact. This one gets up, 1 dice block to knock this one away. Gutter runner comes through here. That's possible. I mean, I've got a blodge guy, so I'm... No, not a blodge guy, actually. Okay, I'm going to move this up here. I'm kind of planning for some pretty unlikely circumstances now, but I am getting to the point where things are going bad enough for the Skaven team that I'm worrying that I'm putting them into a position where they start doing things which they shouldn't be doing because they don't have other options. And there's the fireball. Okay, that's not too bad. No one got injured. Bear got taken down. So we're gonna have that's nice. So Bear, even though stuffing is just kind of in the way, since they didn't get KO'd or anything, they are just making it so that it's possible to get a 2 dice block here. Without, let's see. Okay, I think I can recover from this pretty well. That's a huge weight off my mind to not have to worry about the wizard anymore. Because let's see, so it was a fireball. No, not that good a result. So I think we had 3 fireballs. Well, 3 potential fireball hits. I think you need to get at least 4 before the fireball's really that worthwhile. Because you're trading a 2+ for a 4+. I can't quite remember how the odds could have worked there, but I'd imagine that ideally you want to really, it's the cage breaking tool, so I'd imagine you really want a cage of 5 people ideally. I don't really see a situation in which you're going to get 6 people with it, but okay, so there's the 1 dice block I was expecting. So fortunately that went alright. I have been very lucky with the dice so far, so have not gone knocked over with nearly any of my guys. Yeah, 50%. Okay, so means I can get a hit back. So I see this gutter runner getting through onto the ball carrier. Yeah, so these guys would be more of a threat if they were actually less central. As it is, the Storm Vermin and the Thrower, even though they've got quite high movement, they're not quite high enough to get all the way around into the ball carrier. So Light Kinds isn't going to move. So, okay, so it looks like these guys are going to get mobbed. Okay. Nice, very lucky. Alright, so I can get up doing and into place. It looks like Cabussa's going to try and chase after the ball carrier here. Interesting. There we go, there's a knockdown. Ooh. Oh boy. Alright. Flings me to the sky. Is going to take a little bit of a nap. So that's 1250. That's totally fine though. We haven't taken out any Skaven players yet, but I'm hoping that's going to change. So a big turning point in the next round is going to be whether stuffing actually gets up. If they don't, things get quite a lot harder. since they have become as central to my game plan as they have, which is maybe not a good idea for a big guy to be central. Hey, old one. Kislev are doing okay. I've soaked the fireball, which got a couple of knockdowns, but nothing too major. So I'm up in team value. I am down on players, though. It's only 10 versus 11. And I think the Skaven are going to get onto the ball carrier here. Oh, there's the dodge. Yep, they can pretty much go where they please. So on my next turn, I'm going to have to try and carve out a space to go to. And I have a nasty feeling that stuffing is going to bonehead, which is going to make life a lot harder. Let's see, so I can set up for a 1 dice block to there. Let's see. Okay, so the only way out is probably going to be through. So if the bear gets up, I can make a 2 dice block here and create some space to move into. Let's get up my guy first. And, well, the rest of the turn is going to revolve around whether this bear stands up. And they do! Oh boy, stuffing. Good job today. Good job. Okay, so this means I've got some actual good blocks. So I can get rid of this guy. Ooh, perhaps in a more permanent fashion. Well, that's going to be the apothecary. Okay. So that is the Mighty Blow player taken out for the time being. They've been deaded, now they are undead. Alright, so that puts them at 1080. Yes, you did arrive at the right time. Oops, what's on last day? Okay, so now this guy is freed up. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, I can just turn back and go after the Gutter Runner. And they don't have Block or Wrestle. So instead, they get the Clobbered. So I could 1 dice block this guy to move next to the end zone. Let's see. Oh, I've got a 2 dice block here with block. Sounds good to me. Okay, so I think I can make myself a little baby cage down here. Not a good cage by any means, but oh wait, if I go and blitz this guy here, then suddenly I'm in a much better position, so let's go do that. Very good, very good. So the Gutter Runners are probably going to get onto my guys, whatever I do. So I kind of want to move my guy back here or here. I know that the Gutter Runners will... Let's see. Oh, that's right, no. This is the right place to go. Because now I can move in here. Easy does it. And anyone who's dodging him will have to get past quite a lot of friends. Alright. So I've got a reroll. So let's give it a oh, nice. That was totally earned. Alright, so we're putting some pressure on this side. If the Gutter Runners go after the ball carrier, then I've got a pretty good chance of just running it up the side. As much as I'm not really doing I don't feel like I'm really actually hurting the Skaven team too much, apart from that nearly averted death assign. But I still feel like I'm playing the way which I want to be, which is more just kind of in a scrum. Because my armor overall is better. I've got slightly more punching power, and I've got the bear to fall back on. So that's, yes, Clings to My Skin is my best catcher who's currently having a nap after getting fireballed, but survived the experience, which is impressive. So they did get stunned. Alright, there we go. So we're going to get the 1 dice block. Nice. The blitz. I think I didn't quite... because the bear got in the way, I didn't notice that that was going to be a 1 dice block, but oh well, never mind. I got away with it this time. Of course, yes, stuffing is big in this game. Stuffing, big if true, and they have been true so far. Okay, that's a bit more like it. I was kind of surprised that Kvass has been more willing to stay in contact with my team than I would have expected. But now I've got the other Storm Vermin in a compromising position. I'm pretty happy about that. Now, I've got... oh, yeah, wow, there's 1 dice blocks. Alright, it's time for an arse kicking. Alright. Let's do the easy peasy stuff first. Oh wait, that's not easy peasy. Okay. So I could 3-die block the Gutter Runner with Mighty Blow. That seems pretty appealing. But I like the line here, it's made it quite hard to get through. So I think before I engage in too many more shenanigans, let's get my guy up here. To make life harder for those Gutter Runners, even if it's not necessarily massively so. I think we can play past the Gutter Runner a little bit, actually. Ooh, if the bear goes Bonehead, I think this does really open up my defense too much. So I think multiple hits on the Gutter Runner is probably the way to go. Nice. There's my 3-die block. Okie dokie. So there we go. We start to get some of our blocks opened up now. I think eventually something's got to give in terms of more actual injuries onto the Skaven. I'm getting a lot of hits on them right now, which is quite nice. There we go. Okay. I really don't want the stuffing taken out of the equation. And they've got 2 players pinned down right now, so I'm okay with that. Let's see, if I go here, I get 2-die blocked. Oh, I get chain push, but if I stand here, I will definitely get hit anyway. I've got a reroll, so I think maybe I can afford to get away with this. And I can! Oh boy, dice have been loving me this game. I've actually even blitzed. No. Let's go and do that. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm not getting injuries, but I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I think that's manifesting as not necessarily that I'm getting a lot of SPP from doing injuries, because that doesn't seem to be happening, but I feel like I'm very safe in a matchup where I otherwise wouldn't have felt safe at all. So I guess I would call that, you know, that's the reward I'm getting for the way I'm playing at the moment, which is, you know, much more conservative, like no leaps at all. Just beating people. I'm very happy to have my lineman there just holding down the remaining Storm Vermin. That's amazing. So I see maybe a dodge into the... Let's see, so I think that's going to be cover, dodge into the cage, and go for a 1 dice block. I think that's what's going to happen. Surely not. There's also not anything to be gained by that. Yeah, that's the only move I can see. Is mark both these ball carriers, dive in, go for a 1 dice block, hope for the best. And you've got a reasonable chance of getting knocked down. You've got 2 and 6. That's better odds than I think you can get anywhere else. You've got a lot of rats to stand up, and I think Kislev is spending a lot of time not standing up rats, which is fair enough, but I think it's maybe helping me a lot. Okay, well that's going to make it difficult, because now you can't stop that assist from coming in, so it's now a 2 red dice block on the ball carrier. That seems a lot worse. But maybe they just didn't want to get hit, which is fair enough, I suppose. Stuffing, doing a great job, just holding out for their MVP when they can finally pick up guard. I say finally, they've only been on the team for like a game. But once they do pick up guard, they're going to dramatically shoot up in effectiveness. Okay, not actually going to go off the ball carrier at all. Fair enough. Okay. Sure. Alright. Yes, Mizra. Now the wizard is gone. It is a totally different game. Oh well, the prehensile tower didn't work, but still, gave him something to think about. 5+ on a 3+. Still better than a 2+. And at least this does give me a pretty good incentive to move the bear ram. So where is going to be more useful? Probably here, actually. No, that's still going to be a 2+. At least the bear isn't actually necessarily doing anything particularly useful right now, so if he boneheads, and he does, I'm not overly worried. Okay, so I think it's time to stop messing around. I need 2 assists, right? Alright. I'm thinking about blitzing the gutter runner, and I think I need 2 assists to make it into a 3 dice block. So... let's go do that right now. Looks like my simple maths was correct. Okie dokie. Okay. Alright, well let's try and get the ball away. And let's get them the buddy system. So without the bear actually being there anymore, this is a lot more risky than initially it would have seemed like it would be. Okay, oh, that actually works out right. Because now I can make a 2 dice block on this guy. No armor breaks. But hey, I can live with it. Okay, so what's going to happen next turn? Which is something I should have thought about before I did this. So the gutter runners can just get up in all of my ball carriers' business, going straight past the bear. The blitzers are not particularly well situated to be able to apply their diving tackle anywhere. I should probably get them closer to the ball carrier. So that becomes a thing, as well as getting hold of me into a position to actually receive the score, so they can start picking up Mighty Blow. But right now, we've got a pretty good coverage here. I can see this guy maybe standing up and doing a 1 dice now that the gutter runner is there. So actually, yeah, I will... move this guy here. For a little bit better coverage. Alright, so Skaven's spending a lot of time on the floor. I'm into that. So yeah, again, in terms of game control, I feel like it's going very well. In that I'm able to score very late into the half, you know, on probably on turn 8, which is pretty nice. The Skaven haven't been able to do anything to force me to score early or anything like that, so at least I'm pretty sure that, barring something disastrous happening, that I'm pretty likely to at least get a draw. Right, I think my screen here is pretty solid though. I think the bear might be getting left behind. I like that he's got movement 6 though, that's pretty good. Just like the Saurus. Yes, Mizra, a vermin got taken out. Paul Mordir was thought to be dead, but the apothecary was able to bring him back to life. So that's the apothecary burn, the wizard burn. Kabusta is running it pretty low on resources, apart from rerolls, which are actually pretty high. I think they've got the fan advantage modifier in this game, yes. So if they win, they're looking pretty good, money-wise. Alright, so Skaven look like they're going to just try and get in front of my advance, which is fair enough. Yes, dead and now undead. So get it off is... I'm getting a lot of dice, of these kind of dice where it's just turning into a push. Like, that's exceptional so far. So 1 dice blocks here, or dodges. I'm anticipating 1 failed gutter runner dodge all game. But I figure if I give him a few more chances for that to happen, it's not. And it doesn't cost me too much opportunity cost-wise, then it's alright. Man, I've just imagined if stuffing had guard. All the stuff you can do. Oh, look it. There you go. That was a failed dodge. But the reroll dodge was fine. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything. At this point, I think it's just a case of... so if I stall out 1 more turn, then I can get it on the final turn and force an attempt at a 1-turn touchdown. But in the intervening time, I'm probably just looking to make as many free hits as I can. So the bear here is not doing anything. I'm so glad I got the Storm Vermin onto the sideline, because it's effectively killed them, or effectively at least KO'd them for the duration of the game for the cost of just like a lineman, which is pretty amazing. Okay, fair enough. I don't really know what the purpose of that was. Alright, so yes, oh well, I'm certain there were paths in, especially with Kabusta's team having a 2-headed gutter runner in there. You know, there's always a path to the ball if you're willing to go for it hard enough. Let's see. Okay, I can move the bear pretty far forward. Ah, that's a shame. That would have been fun. Let's see. I can get a 2-die on Lady Jessica, so let's give that a go. Okay, let's clobber her a few times. Okay. Well, at least this provides something constructive to do in the turn I'm looking to burn. Okay. So we can take a shot here. At least keep them out of trouble for a while. Let's see. So I can 1 dice block there. Okay, so I think I'm going to move my guy here. These runners do have very, the catchers do have very big movement, so it's a good chance they should be able to reach pretty much anywhere they need to go, more or less whenever they need to. Gosh, I love having block. Alright, well, I did what I did before, which is forgot to use the blitz. That's a shame, that would have been quite a fun bear run up there. Okay. So what happens this time? I think there's going to probably be a concerted effort to make a hit onto my ball carrier. Probably coming from light kinds, because this flank is a lot more open than it looks because of the bear being boneheaded again. We could see a blitz here, which would be 2 dice onto the catcher, who does have blodge though, which makes it likely he'll still stay up. Okay, that's going to open up some space. Yes, it's another 2-die block. Yeah, there's more opening up on this side now. Because that follows into another 2-dice block. So this entire flank collapses. Though the bodies of my players will form some sort of wall. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately for Cobuster, this doesn't really help a huge amount. If there were more players on this side, because this kind of flank here is going to get opened up, but there's not really anyone there to take advantage of it. Because all these players are otherwise tied up, and that's kind of what I've been trying to do, is keep them in a situation where they're just kind of punching backwards and forwards. Probably on my final turn, I'm not sure I can afford to be doing too much in the way of blocking. So I feel like you've got to go for a blitz here, just in the off chance. You could definitely go for 2-headed guy blitz. I mean, you could negate one. You could negate an assist, and that would be a. You can negate both assists actually, and go for a 1-dice block, dodging in with block against someone who doesn't have block. That's actually pretty decent odds. I mean, you are dodging into 4 tackles, as admittedly, but you know, you'll live a little, I suppose. All right, home. Gonna get a little bit clobbered. I'm kind of curious to see after the game if I've been unlucky with. Okay. With armor rolls, or just kind of average. I feel like maybe I've been slightly unlucky. Okay. I mean, that's one way of doing it. Still got a reroll, right? Yeah. Hey, I got to use diving tackle though. That was fun. I don't think it must have noticed that I had a diving tackle. Yes, Mizra, it is a shame that the Skaven don't get Hypnotic Gaze. I think it really feels like they weren't confident enough in Hypnotic Gaze's design to have it be like a mutation you could get. Because, like, I think if you're not willing to say vampires are a balanced team with Hypnotic Gaze, then why even have it in the game? Honestly. Yeah, I think it's very, very easy to miss a diving tackle player, because a lot of the time you're on the same view which I'm on right now, which is just showing the upgrades. Actually, no, I'm showing everything. So there's a good chance you just don't even see that, literally don't see that player has diving tackle. That's one of the ways the game could be improved, is if it just, when that kind of thing came up, when there was a relevant skill, it would just show you. Okay. This is one of the chances where I will go for a 3-die block. onto this guy. Let's hope it doesn't go spectacularly wrong. Nope, but didn't get anything either. Okay. So this does mean now that I have to make a dodge, which I wouldn't have had to make otherwise. So that's not great. But I think I should be fine. Yeah, it was risky. I've not got anyone else with block I can make a hit with, so... There we go. It was pretty unlikely to go poorly, but... I mean, yes, it was a bad move. But it was... I kind of prioritized at that point getting some SVP for my bear. Actually, in retrospect, it probably would have been better to go to... Well, 3 dice means that it's very unlikely he's gonna fail. Alright, there we go. KO came back. Well, yeah, with a 3 dice block, either he's gonna bonehead, in which case it doesn't matter, or it's extremely unlikely that he's going to be in a situation where... Yeah, 1 in 27. That sounds about right. Okay. Okay. Oops. Yeah, it felt safer than doing a 2 dice block when I don't have block and I also have loner. Because a lot of the risky part of the equation is kind of loaded into the... bonehead part. And yeah, it just seems so extraordinarily unlikely to get that bad result at that point. But cool. I've got one catcher a little bit closer to leveling. I'm not treating the catchers as anything like a priority, but I didn't set up my play well enough to allow for my blitzer to get the SVP. So I think in the second half I'm going to focus more on that. It's just getting a score onto Holomy. Man, the mice is a little bit weird sometimes. Yeah, getting the score and getting a level on, because once I can start getting Mighty Blow onto Mighty Blow and then shortly after that piling onto the Kislev Blitzer, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place in terms of going up against some of these squishier teams to actually do some damage. Whereas, in this game, without any Mighty Blow, the game's just not... I've been seeing a lot of knockdowns and not many armor rolls that turn into anything more than just stuns. I think we've seen a fair few stuns though, which is always alright. So I'm looking forward particularly to my Kislev lineman leveling up, because there's so many good things you can get on there. The kick, wrestle. Yeah, the Kislev linemen are really good. I'm really just waiting on a lineman to level up and get plus agility, and then suddenly they are amazing. Because, with enough time they get, wrestle, tackle, and they can just leap into a cage and instantly gank a ball carrier, and it's terrifying. Like, if anything, because they're relatively cheap, they are almost better than the blitzers. So with the blitzers, you can't really get the wrestle if you want to make use of the diving tackle. What's the other skill? Jump up. That's right. Yes, I haven't used jump up this game. It's really easy to forget to use jump up, but it's a really nice skill to have as a thrower, and one of the reasons why I thought Kislev would be a fun team. For this season overall, it's been really good so far. I haven't taken any long-term injuries in 5 games so far, which is amazing for a team that's only AV 8. Yes, that's a good way of putting it, L1. The blitzers, they're more of the assists, and the lines of the ball suckers, because the blitzers, of course, can get guard, so that's what makes them good for the assisting. Though I'm always very hesitant to be leaping anyone who isn't agility 4, just because, like, it doesn't feel like the odds are great. I believe this is a one-turn touchdown setup. I don't play Skaven, so I don't know it super well, but having a pack of players does, you know, put you in a position to get chain push, so that would make sense. So I think this player's looking to be pushed into there, so that's one of the reasons I set this lineup, was to make it hard for the one-turn touchdown. So if they go in and make a hit onto this guy, then it's probably going to be red dice, and hopefully they mess it up. You can still see the fireball over there. So the trajectory we're on for the game right now is for it to be a 2-1 victory to me. This turn's going to make a pretty big difference as to whether that's the case. Oh, nice weather. Okay, nice weather just in time for the Skaven. So you've got to pick up and then get it to... Who's the player who's supposed to be receiving? Oh, it's this guy, Duncan. So yeah, you've got to pick the ball up and get it to Duncan now, so they can be pushed multiple places. Oh, excuse me. Let me just... I need to apparently mute Facebook. There we go. Sorry, just a second. Alright, anyway. So back to things. So there's the successful push. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, the one-time touchdown is real. Yeah, I'll need to have some pretty rotten dice from Kabasta for them not to score here. Oh. I'm surprised that the Kabasta's going for some hits here, because they're definitely going to need their rerolls. Okay, so it's 2 going for it. I think this is pretty likely to work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the battle for 3rd and 4th place to get to the top of the table is quite possibly going to turn into a draw, which is bad for both of us, meaning that neither of us get to catch up. But okay, so that's a good lesson in how not to avoid getting one-turn touchdown. So I think in retrospect, so what I should have done, is I should have put my 2 blitzers in the middle. and then they would have been able to stop. They would have been in position to diving tackle that one turn. So yeah, Kislev might have actually been one of the few teams who could have stopped that. But I didn't think about how it was actually going to play out. But cool, I learned something. I presume you can only want to. Well, so well, let's not talk about the. Let's save that discussion, I guess, until after the game is done, because one-turn touchdowns is still a possibility. So I don't want to talk about necessarily get into the specifics of what can and can't stop it while the game is still going on. So let's just focus on what's going next. That's right, Owen. I know it was it came from a good place. But I've already got in trouble for that already. I really don't want to get in any more trouble for it either. Let's see. Okay, oh, that's alright. This is actually, yeah, this is a really bad formation, isn't it? I kind of got a little bit distracted with other stuff. But if this means that Combustor ends up going through and scoring pretty quickly, then I guess I don't feel too bad about it. Okay, so Skaven looks like they're gonna end up engaging the front line pretty heavily, which is surprising. I guess they're looking for a knockback, 2-die block on the stuffing. But I mean, stuffing is in the team to get the stuffing knocked out of them. So I'm pretty happy with, even though it did cost my entire treasury, I'm very glad to have stuffing on the team. I think they, as much as there isn't an enormous amount of literature about the Kislev team. I mean, I think Sage probably did the most in-depth stuff. There's a lot of people sort of going over the basics, but Sage was the only one who went into detail about how they really developed, at least that I found. If anyone does know any other resources for Kislev, team development and things like that, I'd love to read them, because right now, I've kind of, I've got the basic idea of what sort of players they can build, which is generally quite a lot of different ones, especially with the blitzers, who are horrendously expensive but still pretty good. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, it's okay. But yeah, I mean, you've got you've got the guard. I guess probably for the blitzers, I can't remember what the alternate paths are. I mostly focused on it's got a hold of me, turning it into a mighty blow, piling on blitzer. Man, if they spend a lot of time getting all of these Skaven in the center, I'm not super bummed about that, honestly. I mean, I'll be annoyed if Bear gets taken out here, but yeah. They've concentrated a lot of the rats in the middle, which is, as we saw before, when rats are concentrated, it doesn't tend to go terribly well for them. So, let's see. What am I looking for here? Opportunities. Opportunity 1 is the ball is not on a player who has block. Meaning that while my team has yet to develop its own wrestle players, I could use my hold on me blitzer to go after the ball and get it with some degree of success. If I can mark Duncan Idaho, I can at least make it so that they are in a bit of an awkward position to actually go and receive the ball, because either they'll be catching it while they're marked, which isn't great, or they'll be forced to go to the ball to get it. There we go. So that's a pretty good case scenario for me here, unless... Okay. Is he close to leveling up? No, just looking for the MVP. Okay, I'm more than happy to go chase the ball up the pitch for a while. I think as long as I can get 2 heads guy, then I'm feeling pretty happy. Okay. Okay, so I can single going for it to get there. So I need some people over on Okay, I think I'm going to try and put some pressure down to score early. Because if that happens, I'm not super bummed. So I've got, at least now I've got my blitzers somewhat central. And I'm going to make a leap here, and then a dodge. Okay, that's pretty much where I wanted to be. So there's a decent possibility that the Skaven just run past me here, but if they don't, then they're in an awkward spot as well. So the center is always going to be pretty hard for them to break through with the bear there, now that the bear's got some friends to rely on. The left-hand flank could be broken through, but let's see, 1 dice, 1 person in here for a 2 dice. Okay. Nice, another push. So with that push, my left-hand flank seems pretty secure. I'm very happy to have got a mark on Duncan Idaho, because even though they've got agility 4, now for them to receive the ball, it's just that little bit more risky. And also makes it quite hard for them to get away, unless we're going to see a blitz onto him, onto a Blodge player. Which is quite possible. Okay, yep, totally fine. I can definitely see the reasoning for putting sidestep onto a player like that in the future, but I really like that. So we've got another, hopefully, survival. Yep, great stuff. Nice, so after all is said and done, the Skaven haven't advanced at all. This is amazing for me. So my guy who's there to blitz the ball carrier is within range of the ball, unless they move it up to here or something. Whoa, that's a bold choice. Case in point. Okay. Looks like I'm getting my shot at the ball carrier. So what's Kabusta going for here? They're looking to presumably hand off to one of these gutter runners again. But I can move a blitzer in there and have both of them be diving tackle marked as well as regular marked. Okay. So it looks like trying to get through this way is the intention. Okay. Well, let's see. If my brain was fully on par today. I could probably figure out what all of the moves were going to be, but sadly it is not. So, going to seal off some of that. Okay, well, I mean, the other gutter runner is probably going to get away anyway, whatever I do. Let's see. So I'd like to be able to jump in and make a hit. I think I've got to get my guy up here. I know this is gonna, yeah. Actually, if I get a couple of guys up here, then it means that when the ball, if I do somehow pull this off and the ball gets scattered, it's going to be a little bit less likely to go straight into the gutter runner's hands, which I think is what they're gambling on. Okay. I think I'll leave my catcher as open as they can be. So ideally I don't want to end up next to their Mighty Blow player if I can avoid it. Alright. I'm going to do this because I'm hoping the bear will cooperate here. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. In that case, if they can't get up on these two, then I think it's... I don't know, they're in a little bit of an irrelevant position right now. So maybe it is worth going after them here. Yeah, screw it. That does mean I could try for the shenanigans of pushing them this way, away from the gutter runners. I think actually the right move is to end up next to the Mighty Blow player, push this way. I really want to keep him away from the Duncan Idaho if I can. Let's see, is that an option? So if I went here? No, not really. I think it's either going to be up or it's going to be sideways, and sideways is probably slightly better. At least it's next to one less gutter runner. Okay, well, blitz, leap. I've got, I mean, it's not a terrible dice. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. First leap of the game goes pretty darn well. Holy crap. Alright. Yeah, just 2 random deaths on the blitzers. So that's Lita the second, taken out of commission. So that's 11-10. Didn't update that. 11-10 versus 13-10. Yes, that's gotta suck. Alright. Well, in that case, I'm probably gonna try and get some folks in the area of the ball. I don't know if I should actually be trying to pick up the ball. I think it feels like it's too risky. I think instead smothering the ball with people is probably alright. Yes, this is the most murderous of the Kislev teams. Well, if I can level up my blitzer, it definitely will be. Having Mighty Blow piling on jump up is crazy. That's something you do not see many other places. Oh, gotta go. Whee! Alright. Well, at least that does provide a firm... So the nice thing about failing a jump is that at least your body does end up in a relevant place. In this case, making a firm line, though I have a feeling the Skaven can probably quite easily get hold of the ball once again. Alright. That's the price. The price was apparently not too significant. So we've got very hard to make a 2-die block actually with these gutter runners. With them both being marked and being marked from multiple angles. But we can see like a 1-dice block if you bring the thrower across. The line rats could maybe come and intervene and do something. The ball's probably not getting to still guard the gutter runner. So Kislev blitzers have got general strength and agility access on normals. Which is crazy! Which means they can block, dodge, mighty blow, guard, everything they want. I don't really know why they've got strength access. It doesn't really seem to fit them, but I think it's one of the reasons for playing the team is that their strength access, their skill access on the blitzers is just crazy. Alright. Yeah, it is. They are like, they're similar to vampires in that respect, except they just don't have the negative traits. They just start off rubbish, but unlike vampires, they don't sort of carry that rubbish with them their whole development. Okay, so I'm really liking having the having a diving tackle player. Okay, there we go. This is going to make life a little bit trickier. I've got a diving tackle player and a prehensile tail on the ball. So I think we probably see a 1-dice block here to just push him onto the ball to sort of roll the dice on what happens next for Combustor at this point. Because if this goes any worse for them, they're looking at a 2-1 loss. Given how well I was able to stall in the previous half. Okay. I mean, we're linemen are taking the abuse, but that's what they're there for. Okay, so that's going to give the 2-dice block, probably? No, still a 1-dice block. And it's no good. Cool. I'm feeling pretty good. Yes, the Kislev team get very, very good later on. The only thing is just not dying on the way there, and so far I've been pretty lucky in that regard. Okay. So I don't think that bear's going to be doing anything anytime soon. So what am I doing is the question. Okay, so if I can get a player up to here, and I can start negating some of these assists. I'm not so convinced that there's going to be more dead Skaven in the immediate future. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work at all, does it? Because I stood that player up. Well, that's a mistake. This turn's very tricky to navigate correctly, I think. Okay, so that's a good one. Okay. So that negates some of the assists, and that means I can get some hits onto Duncan. It will not be obliging enough to get murdered. Two red? Oh, it's because the bear is otherwise engaged. Okay. So this turn has been kind of uneventful, but I'm kind of okay with that. It's primarily ended up with the Skaven just kind of being pulled more into a scrum. And that's definitely a situation I can live with. I would love to actually use the bear here, but I think I'll just have to remember that I have got a blitz, which I've forgotten about so many times before. And fail to use it successfully there. Let's give myself a few options. Is there anywhere else I do actually want to go? Okay. I feel like this is probably a somewhat better move had I got... Okay. I'm going to get 2 red dice blocked anyway, aren't I? So I might as well do it with a reroll. And that's fine. Okay, that's good stuff. I honestly don't know where the next turns go. I think there's definitely a future in which the Skaven just come in and grab the ball and run off with it, and I'm very sad. Okay, so that's alright. That's going to be a 2 dice. I guess it's kind of hard to not have the catchers be 2 dice blocked at any given moment. So I'm happy to at least still have pretty good coverage of the ball as far as that goes. I think given enough time, I should hopefully be able to... Oh, wow, that's not ideal. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah. I figured that was going to happen at some point for Buster, that they were just going to try and go for it. Did that player stand up? Okay. So I'm at least pretty confident they're not going to dodge away with diving tackle and prehensile tail. But I've got to remember for the diving tackle, it only affects the first dice roll, so it's still relatively likely to get away from it. It does rely on... I think it's much better on Agility 3 players than using it on an Agility 4 player who's quite likely to pass the following dodge roll anyway. The 6 should have been on the stuffing. You're right, 01. Stuffing really letting me down there. It's just those bear claws. You know, they're good for eating, but they're no good for catching balls. I don't know. I generally don't know if this whole thing of trying to break into like a really tight formation is actually a good idea or not. For this stage, Kislev. I mean, if I had tons of garden things, totally. But as it is, I feel like I'm only like I'm not sufficiently better than the Skaven team at being in a scrum to the point where I'm really kind of comfortable where this is right now. Okay, so that's what I figured. There's the handoff because there's no dice, well, no hard dice involved in that. So I'm going to have to try and knock down a... Ooh, that's not so good. That's also not good. Okay, still alive. So I'm going to have to try and get the ball off of a blodge player. What I'm assuming that what you're saying there is the reason they handed off is because of the big gun and diving tackles. I just again like because we're just trying to avoid any perception of coaching. I know that wasn't intended to even. We probably weren't even thinking that could be perceived as coaching, but with that kind of thing, I'd be specific as to what you're talking about, because otherwise it can sound a little bit like you're talking about something I should be doing. I know it's a pain to be constantly talking about this, but it's a concern on my mind. Alright, so I think I get the... Let's see. So I need to move the bear forward. It's probably not going to get a 2 dice anything, so... Yeah, you were talking about their options. That's fair enough. I wanted to clarify that for future reference, really. Okay, the bear needs to get next to the ball carrier, otherwise none of this really works. So let's bring my guy around here. And apart from that, I mean, I could make a leap and... Sick. That's the best possible outcome. Okay. So I want to keep him next to the bear. That's pretty important. So, are there any other things I can do which are actually decent? Oh, there we go. This is a 2-die block. Okay. So that makes life a little bit easier. And I could I'll maybe look to push this guy away and make life a little bit easier that way. Okay, I can't really afford to do anything which would involve me re-rolling otherwise, so welcome to Blitz Town. Lucky. Very lucky. A little bit less lucky? But still pretty good. Okay, so if this guy makes his 1-die block here, that's fine. And stays. This bloke gets his 2-die block. And also gets an armor break. And also gets an injury. Sweet. Farak is badly hurt. 10-50. Ah. Oh, Mizra, did I do something which was totally unnecessary in one of my previous turns? I can believe that. Okay, let's go up here to try and cover the ball as much as possible. And then I can make a leap onto the ball itself. Well, there we go. That's a little bit less than ideal. Mizra, I'd have to go back and look at that turn to see if I just did something dumb. But man, the concentration it's taking in this game is quite a lot. Okay, it looks like I've got tons of people on the ball carrier. And a bit of an awkward situation here. Like, this is the ideal kind of assist situation where none of the players are getting 2 dice. That does change things, though. Oh, man. Okay, man. Buster has not been beloved of the dice in this game at all. So it's got a hold on me, we don't need to pass to get a level up. Interesting, interesting. Oh, you're saying I did an unnecessary leap because I could have just moved. I think, yeah, I think maybe I planned out that leap earlier on in the turn or something. But the odds of me making a dodge and making a leap are the same. So it kind of much for muchness. So if this guy moves across, he's going to be dodging at a prehensile tail, diving tackle. Oof. Okay, so the ball moved. I don't actually mind that overly much. And didn't even die to move the ball. Oh boy, could love these one dice blocks of that rerolls. Well, I mean, the ball, while it may not have gone to my player, it was pretty close to doing so. That's a 2 plus 1 plus 1 minus 1. So all it took was a 2. And, okay, they're looking to get a handoff onto them again. At least I've actually got a marking ball player this time around. Ish. Okay. Hey MIT, how's it going? Yeah, the ball balances have been a little bit silly. I could definitely still see myself losing this game because of that kind of stuff. Okay. That's a lot better. Ooh, also an armor break as well. Okay, I would. How many assists will I need to get a 2-die block? 2. Can I? So what can I get around to? Okay. With a player this good at dodging, well, actually, it doesn't matter if I get the guy with block because it's still not going to do anything for me anyway. So let's just push him physically further back up the pitch. And we're just going to, suppose, just surround him. Ooh, also an armor break. And an injury onto their best player, Duncan Idaho. They've run out of... that's 130 team value off immediately. And I suspect their chances of winning the game. Yes, that is enormous. And also, that's a leveled up lineman as well. Amazing news. Whew, okay, something had to give, and eventually it did. Alright, let's move my guy up here. I'm going to take a little bit of a kicking as a result of this, but hopefully nothing too bad. I mean, it was fairly desperation play from Combustor in the first place, so fair enough. Alright, I think Get It Off is going to get destroyed by Mighty Blow otherwise, so I don't mind too much if he gets boneheaded, so nice, nice. That means both gutter runners are now marked. Alright, I've still got my reroll, so I guess I'll double mark them. I mean, yeah, this is the advantage of being ahead. Yeah, miss next game on their best player is disastrous. Duncan Idaho is a ridiculous player, and I'm very glad that they're off the pitch. At some point, my wrestle tackle. Well, my first guy leveling up, I think, is going to get kick. And past that point, then it's going to start being the wrestle tackle players. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I've got a ton of turns left back to score with. Their only really... In fact, no, I think... Is that their only good gutter runner? Yeah, the ones off the pitch. Did they not get put in for this half? The rest of the ones off the pitch. The block... two heads one is now removed as well. So their ball carrying options are down to vanilla gutter runners. The only strong thing that's really left in the team is the remaining Storm Vermin. And yeah, it's just a lineman. So they've got the... Where's the other Storm Vermin? Actually, I can't tell. Lineman. Let's see. So we've got Paul there. Where is the other Storm Vermin? Not there, not there, not there. Not there. Not there. Am I just missing that they are out? Oh, so Gutter Runner, Lyman. Oh, I missed the... Oh, it's Lito the dead... Oh, jeez. The dead one. Oof. Okay. Alright, well, I feel... The more time goes by, the more I feel like a jerk for complaining about having not injured the rats, as now it's finally started happening. Okay, so I've... Man, this... Yeah, this opens up a lot of possibilities for me here, so... Screw it, let's go try. Two gutter runners, 2 missed next games. Yep. But hey, that's unfortunate. Okay, so I really want to get the Blitzer level up. So I'm going to... Yeah, I think it was forgetting the diving tackle player as well. I mean, I don't know if they had too many other options, honestly. So I am going to remember that I've got jump up, and therefore I can make a free hit. Oh, well, never mind. Actually, yeah, I might as well. Yes, diving. I think that's probably one of the things to look for going forward is diving tackle and the bear tail together. I think that's super strong. And remembering to actually use the jump up is huge for me. I nearly always forget. Okay, actually I'm going to... I haven't got a reroll though, so I'm just gonna make with the clobber him. Okay. Well, I guess I could have had that one coming. So I'm guessing... So thinking about it a little bit further, I think the blitzers are going to be much, much better at marking... So currently, they are very good at marking players who don't have dodge. If they do have dodge, then it's almost irrelevant because the reroll is probably going to succeed anyway, if they're an agility 4 player who's got dodge. But if they're marking a player who does not have dodge, then you're taking something which was a 3+ and making it into a 5+. It's so effectively impossible. I think if I can get tackle onto one of the them, then I'm feeling pretty good. Oh yeah, so there you go. Getting a lot of mileage out of the dodge there. Okay. So this game is, I think, more or less decided enough that I can start doing silly stuff. which will include, but not to be limited to... Oh, let's remember to use the jump up hit. Okay, I'm not going to bother to track the team value anymore, because it seems a little bit crass to do so. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to move my guys up here, just in case something goes wrong. I'm kind of tempted to foul the gutter on it just because it's the only thing that conceivably does anything to me, but I think at this point I'll just make do with smothering them with pliers, because I feel a little bit bad for the 2 missed next games and everything. Okay, so there's the level up, there's the mighty blow. Whew. Okay. I'm out of rerolls now, so I don't think I'll be doing any more of that kind of silliness. But yeah, I'd be tilting under the circumstances as well. Do I foul? Yep. Okay. Yeah. So having played a lot with like underworld teams and things when on the main ladder, I've learned now to appreciate fouls a lot more. So in that case, it's like it's awkward because it's a tool which is, I think, best used when you are ahead to remove any possibility of an opposing comeback, and that's yeah, it's about showing respect. Yeah, in this case, it's just, you know, me trying to make sure that there's no possibility of anything. Actually, I'm gonna go for I'll go for blitz here because I figure I've got better chances. Luck definitely favors the player who is already ahead, because I think they can just go for stuff that's a little bit marginal and just kind of be unworried about it. Yeah, I'm definitely scoring it with break free because I've got one more turn and no rerolls. Oh, never mind. Didn't die though. If you don't foul, it's like saying you don't even need to care about you. Yeah. I think that's probably a decent way of looking at it. Like, oh man, if I get taken out here, I'm going to feel like such an idiot. Go away with it. Yeah, that was really bad on my part. There shouldn't have been any way for them to get onto the ball. Alright. Alright. Let's get it done. Oh man, that was such an intense game. Ugh. Jeez. I think Buster... Yeah, I deserve to lose the ball on the game there. That was really bad. That was so bad. Well, it just goes to show that sometimes you'll get away with nonsense. I'm trying. So rather than not letting it affect me, like I'm trying to let it affect me because this is the way I'm going to remember not to do it. I think I probably can do better than a 2. A lot better than a 2. Man, my treasury is bulging. My players are looking good. I might even be able to get another... okay, cool. Oh, that was the lineman. Okay, well, that's the lineman pretty close to leveling up for a second time. I might actually start putting the wrestle on them then, rather than the kick, which I would have gone for otherwise. But yes, very focused SPP. Yeah, it gives a very complicated game. Let's validate it. Whew. Yeah, I mean, Kabasta definitely deserves to get the draw there. But sometimes even the undeserving get something. So let's see what I get with this guy. So as I said, I would have put the kick on them, but okay. So now it's just going to be, yeah. I think this has got to be my wrestle tackle plan. So flesh. The rest will be useful for them anyway. So the team's doing pretty well. I can actually show you the end of today. So I'm going to go back and do a proper review of Division 5M a little bit later on. But this was the match which determined which of us in 3rd and 4th stood a chance of being able to compete with the top players. Old one, Mirza. I think we may have just witnessed the birth of a legend. It's a strength 4. Oh boy. Oh boy. So now, oh man, this is gross. He can jump in and 2-die block ball carriers by himself. Hold me. Oh, hold me. Hold me. That is sick. That is so good. I mean, I would, that's better. I think that's actually arguably better than the plus agility would be, because while the plus agility will let you get into the cage, and it is important, this at this point is going to be so ridiculously strong. I mean, admittedly, this might... So, with him being a plus strength player, that's probably more... Well, he can now... Do I put him down the killer route or the ball sacker route? It would seem to make sense to put them down the ball sacker route, because they can... because this is it's the most relevant way to get him in and go off the ball carrier. So maybe... Oh, well, you don't actually risk him in the cage that way. It is, yes, it is an extremely high value player. It's a 180,000 value player. So, with that respect, yes, that is dicey. But man, this changes everything for the team. I'm gonna have to spend some time thinking about how to best make use of It's Got Hold of Me, because that is a mountain of a player, and like they're gonna in terms of what's possible for the team, that's gonna change it completely. So jumping in and doing 2-die blocks on the ball carrier, that's incredible. But he's not the most reliable of players. Yeah, strength 4 blodger, I think is I could see that being a thing, because I think Misra, yes, put your efforts into killing him ASAP. Hey, Drunk Mystic, how's it going? So the big news, if you've just come by and you can see in your stream, is that I've got a plus strength blitzer, and just thinking through all the possibilities. A strength 4 blodger would be very good. I think the dodge after this would probably be prudent to try and keep him alive, because he's such a ridiculously expensive player. So I think whatever it is, it's going to be dodge next, and then after that, I don't think he can now be the mighty blow piling on player. Actually thinking about it, because he'll need the dodge sidestep. I can see working. The alternative is to go for dodge and then maybe tackle, but I think sidestep would be very, very nice. Yeah, my TV is crazy out of this world now with a bear. Yes, he probably does. It would be prudent to foul them if I did have piling on. So you're right. I think that's a career pivot for it's got a hold of me away from being the killer to being a more of a just pain in the ass player. So I'm at the point now with where I could be bringing in another blitzer. My team value is crazy high, but I don't feel like I could toss an unskilled lineman and put in a new blitzer. I think I'm going to have to think about that because, yeah, I'm up against Mizra next. And actually, we can look at the relative team values. So let's look at the league. So I need to go back. Oh, man, it's such a pain in the ass to do this. Let's go back into here. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. So as a result of that, yeah, Kabusta falls down from, I think, being able to realistically contest the top point because we've got two teams with 4 wins. So schedule-wise, I'm up against Mizra next. So if I can beat Mizra, then that puts me at above Mizra. And then on the last 2 days, I faced the 2 top teams. So Mizra on day 6 and the Blood of the Elder on day 7. So I have to beat both of them to make it to the top of the league, but it's going to be quite the task. Yeah, Mizra's team is probably tremendously lower. Let's have a look at them. They're under-ratted, 12-10. Yes, yeah. Oh, one, you're right. Oh man, matching plus strength, guys. Yes, hard games, but it's entirely down to how well I play, and I think that's all anyone could really ask for. Man, they got boy, Mizra, you got your mighty blow, claw blitzer. That is pretty horrendous. I'm so glad that I'm up against that. I still don't have a tremendous amount of ways of going after. So I suppose the only thing I've really got is, so strength is equal. We both got strength 5, we both got strength 4. We both got 2 blitzers. You've got more mighty blow. Yeah, on the strength 4 blitzers for Mizra is definitely going to be nightmarish. He does need to practice with his new claws. I mean, the only advantage Kislev got is her armor is not that great in the first place, so that it's not as a big of an adjustment to have to deal with them. Oh, Mizra. Oh, boy. So you're saying that Cutter has been failing to injure people, so they're about due to start injuring people. That's good news. With me going up against you next. So there's a goblin with 2 heads. You know how much I enjoy 2 heads and dodge. And stunty, of course, just because. Make it unnecessary to get a plus agility. Yeah, your team's pretty scary. 12-10 up against 13-90. I mean, that's not that big of a difference. If I got a blitzer and fired a rookie lineman, then I would be up 50k from where I am right now. So currently it's 1080. It would be like 230. So it's a wizard and something. Oh boy, Mizra, your games have been so ridiculous so far that I don't rate my chances of being able to win. Yeah, every game, convincing wins. 4-0, 3-0, 2-0. At least you've actually conceded the goal now. In your last match, you got so few SPP, only 1 goal level up. Yeah, that's very light SPP for you. Houses of Westeros, I'm really glad I've gotten past the houses already, because they are looking pretty scary. What a great time. Oh man, I'm going to do an actual review, so I'll come back to this another time. I just want to take a quick look at the other top team. Have you guys played each other? Wait. Oh, it was the Blood of the Elder beat you. Okay. No, wait. Oh! Are the 2 top teams in the division not going to play each other? The Underratted is against me.
and then they're against the Children of Dune. Yeah, you never play against the Blood of the Elder. Man, Mizra. Wow, that's quite a thing. You've actually successfully dodged the other top team. Amazing. But, I mean... Wait, what is that? Oh, that's right. Oh, but that does mean that's why you've got your loss, isn't it? Because the... Yeah, because... Well, both of you've got a loss. So, okay. I'm going to have to figure it out, because from the next 2 games, I think, even if I don't go on to win both of them and therefore win the league, I can still just play a fairly big part in deciding who is going to win by who I lose to. You've got 1 match less than others. No, you don't. You've got 5. Well, you've got 5 games play, but yes. Well, you got a ramp up game, didn't you? So it's not like you played 1 last game in the division, but you've still played 5 games against the High Sea Surf Riders, which isn't there anymore, I suppose. But yes, joining with a enforced loss is kind of a little bit sucky. I'm kind of curious, Mizra, were you told that you would be joining with a loss? Yes, old one. I'm definitely not a competent Kislev coach, but I'm hoping to do well with them. I think this season's gone about as... No, I think it has. It's gone as well as anyone could reasonably ask for. I've got a lot of money. I've got a deep roster. I've got some very cool players. So, you know, I've got nothing to complain about this season at all. I would like to do well with them overall because they seem like such a fun team. Oh, it shows the loss here on the in-game standings. It doesn't the REBBL page. Oh, does it just count like as a not play game then? I don't know. Well, Mizra, I suppose either way, if a game's not played, you get 0, and if you lose, you get 0, so I guess it's the same. Yeah, old one. I really hope to be able to somehow get the... I don't know what the Kislev do when they come across killer teams. Probably die, is my assumption. Yeah, Misery, it does show you as 4-0-1 in game. So, I don't know. I don't know how REBBL runs it. I don't think you're probably going to get an extra game to make up for the lost game, though. I don't know who it would be against. Unless you ended up playing against the High Elves. They might do that. Yeah, it doesn't change anything then. Oh, well, what team... I have to look up what team you're running right now. In the league. Let's see. REBBL.net. Oh, when your team is weak right now, so you'll probably be dead. Aww. Oh gosh, it's really... Let's see. REBBL standings. There we go. Oh, you've got the Dark Elves on 5-0. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Bam. I didn't even recognise that was the team name. So Bam, you've got a guard player. You've got some pretty solid blitzers. Oh man, but you've got a 9-person roster. Yeah. You've only taken 3 touchdowns against you so far. I think you'll probably do right. Hopefully we'll get to play against each other in future leagues. Been playing with 3 blitzers and 4 loners. Oh, I see. So Phil Cushins Jr. is coming as a new player. But the other blitzers are pretty well developed. You've got Blodge and all of them. Yeah. Alright, guys. So I'm going to do a roundup of the last week. And I guess this week as well. Have I caught up with that? I definitely... So, at this point, I think I can do a 2-week roundup because I think I did... Yeah, I think I did 2 and 3. Now I can do 3 and 4 because 5M play their games pretty quickly. So we already know what all the results are. So I guess I might do that later on. We'll see how today ends up playing out. But for now, thank you to Kabuster for a very, very well played game. That was probably the most intense. I hope you have a delicious lunch. And I'll see you all again soon for the recap and hopefully some coverage of some of the games. I'll also have a look and see if any of them are particularly compelling. I think maybe Underrated versus House of the Westeros would be worth looking at. And Mizra, thank you for your congratulations. I really love that this league has been, we've been engaging with each other so much. It's really nice. All right, have a lovely day here in Devon. It's very, very sunny, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day. And I hope you guys do too. Catch you later.